behind. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Sweet home Iowa Speedway, where your corn is so bloomed. Sweet home Iowa Speedway, well, I finally come back home to you. Oh, you know it's true. Oh, hey everybody, welcome to PT Racing TV. I swear I was not trying to sing in my home track or anything. Okay, so I was swinging in my home track. Anyway, yes, we are live here at my home place, my home center, asphalt-wise. It's Iowa Speedway here in Newton, Iowa. Live here on Pete's Race TV to showcase our drivers of the Misfitz iRacing League in the Super Late Model Division. Down to showcase this one on around and get down to business here at the fastest short track in the world. Here we go on our lineup here, presented by W. It's going to be Royce Gravano in the 76 outside. Will be Jordan Riddick in the number 15. At row 2, we see Joe Lux piling the 04 is outside. That is Christian Vinscati in the number 80. Row number 3 is Zach M. Woods, the 61 is outside. Ethan Harrison in the 77. At row 4, we see Chandler Hutchins, the 22 is outside. Matt Nicholson in the 10. At the final starters in this one, it'll be Josh Ingram in the 56 is outside. Patrick Jenks, the 78. Home, sweet home indeed, and I have been waiting to get back to this track for quite a while. Just under 3/4 of a mile. It's larger than a half mile, but it's a tough little road track. It's a tough little track and a little bit of a slobber knocker end at circus to really work around and really fight in with the best and the toughest of drivers. It's one of my absolute favorite tracks to race on now, just for the fact that I live here and it is my track. But actually, this track is a very racy kind of track. Multiple grooves, multiple angles, multiple lines. It is obviously a short track at heart, but it does not to me really drive too much like a short track, more than it drives as a kind of a bull ring style mile and a half, if that makes any sense. So you'll have to really just kind of keep an eye on moves and keep an eye on the runs here. Drivers will end up more towards the middle and the bottom of these super late model cars. Obviously, they don't want to try to drive up too high. They'll lose a little bit of speed up there. However, there is passing opportunities if you can drive it off well enough and manage to kind of grip around the track. This is a tough ordeal and a tough call to really figure out, and really one of the best, in my opinion, to race with as our drivers prepare to go to the battle and go to the war we are about to see here at Iowa Speedway. 9 cars piloted in heat number 1, and everyone ready to deal the runs and deal the momentum down on the track. Off the corner ends of turn number 4, onto our green flag start. First one of the night. Let's get down to it. And the speeds carried from Scavano early on may be showcasing what he wants to make these boys thinking a little bit twice about trying to run him off on this one. Still have to back the corners up a little bit, entering off the bottom. These Super Late Model cars may have a lot of speed to them. That does not mean that they don't have to back off a little bit though, there. And the 37 there of Chandler Hutchins unfortunately takes a little bit of a hit and dive run on Matt Nicholson, and the number 10 Nicholson struggling to get the car straightened out. Damage bad on that 37 of Chandler Hutchins. We'll see if he's able to bring it back around here come the next set of rounds of racing when the A main comes in. Brian McCaskill saying good luck to the P1 guys. Mike and I had our had our baby yesterday, so I can't make tonight's race. Ryman, congratulations, sir, and our best regards to the newborn in you, my friend. I don't have kids of my own, but I can guarantee he's gonna be busy for a while, so. Working them off down on top, turn 4, top 5 right now in a hot brigade, hot battle here. Zach M. Woods, the 61 currently charging up there. Ethan Harrison, the 77 ahead of him, and Joe Lux, the 04 ahead of both of them in that third place round. Jordan Riddick still trying to find something to kind of hit up there onto that 76 Scrivano, as you see just for a brief fleeting moment. The number 22 driver, or 27, excuse me, of Chandler Hutchins with problems down there. Couldn't quite get the car straight back out and really dealt with after that big hit he took into the wall off turn number 4. Scrivano, proven winner, proven commodity. He's not obviously going to give a darn inch to anybody out here. He'll make sure he forces everyone to run their race and run this field in with the best of them. Some hard charges, some hard corner ends and exits will definitely be presented with these guys. Back on board here with the 61 as Zach M. was here, as currently Ethan Harrison holds down his 77 line. The Jag 61 though, not too shabby so far. With only 2 laps to go though, white flag will pop out next time by. Riddick maybe looking to try and start driving this thing into the ground a little bit. Maybe looking to try to make Scrivano think twice about overtaking him for this win. May have to endure the bump and run. White flag high in the air. He's our flagman today, flying it high. My good friend Austin holds the flag up for them. Strong heat to start this one off here, but can Riddick, can he get one more little run on Scrivano? Entering in turn number 3, down into turn number 4. I will not say he's going to get him, and I don't think he's going to get him. It's not enough. Scrivano to the checkered flags. We'll put this one into victory lane. Your heat winner will be Roy Scrivano. Jordan Riddick goes 2nd. Joe Lux 3rd. 4th, Ethan Harrison. 5th to Zach M. Woods. And heat number 1 in the books. Then drivers making the call in this first heat set. Heat number 2 though, now staging. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at our race results here in heat number 1. Sorry for the little beep and blooper there. That's just Microsoft being kind of a troublesome nuisance. But Roy Scrivano goes away with a win. Riddick goes 2nd, 3rd to Lux, 4th to Harrison, and Woods will go 5th. That will charge up our top 5 in this one. So that is our first heat in the books. Now on to heat number 2. We'll start on the pole. Jimmy Cochran, the number 2, is outside. That's Quentin Haley in the 13. Row number 2 is Matthew Kerkhoff, and the 00 is outside. Noah Healy, the 84. In row number 3, Jesse Singleton will pilot the 51, is outside. Timmy Spatz in the 14. And row number 7 is Brayson Collins in the 5, is outside. Frank Griffith in the 54. Row 5, final stars, Race Bible, the 08, is outside. Ryan Dyer, the 83. Sorry for the technical difficulty screen there. We had a pop up. We were currently trying to get the overlays to correct up a bit. Thankfully, we have now got it set up and ready to go. 8 laps here in this next heat, and then the A main coming up right afterwards. Gawker for the first time really in a while, looking to maybe make a bit of a showcase here from his PWI drivers here. But the dark horse of Quentin Haley is no small stranger when it comes to racing hard. This is his kind of surface, his terrain. He loves these bigger tracks, these more wide open ends. We'll see if he can put that to good use and put that to the test, as these drivers will be challenged up to their limits and their point. Noah Healy in the 81, I should reference and clarify, not the 84 I said earlier. But as they bring it right around here over the green flag restart zone, we're underway again. And these starts are going to be extremely critical, really, for the guys out on front zone, because they're going to have to literally work these things off as fast as they can and make sure they don't burn the tires in too quickly. But in the A main, that's going to be a completely rectified situation. Then it's going to be pacing, timing, and strategy all throughout that race. It's not going to be a matter of trying to prove anything about being the fastest in the heats. It's going to be a matter of then trying to prove you can even hang on from the heats. The onboard camera here with the 81, Noah Healy, as he moves the chains on up at Quentin Haley and Jimmy Gawker. And you can see him trying to avoid trouble up there, going up high and then back down on the run here. There's a lot of guys looking to try to obtain their place, obtain their spots here at Iowa Speedway, knowing what comes ahead of them and what they'll have to deal with in the big race coming up. Quentin, though, looking to make a move off of the two. A lot closer than we saw earlier with Riddick and Scrivano on the start of this one. I don't know, maybe that might be a bit of a difference in opinion and difference on the driving line here that these two are facing up with, but it's certainly helping. Bryson Collins having a little bit of company back there as number 51, Justin Singleton, kind of moves his way up in the Rowdy Energy machine. Things about to get a little dicey, things about to get a little rowdy up in this ballpark when Singleton comes to town. Oh, especially with the 5 of Collins overdrove a little too hard off turn number 4 there. You saw him dive it up a little high. That was a bit of a mistake there because when it brought back low, he forgot that there's a little bit of a flat spot entering off turn 4 that sends you up that progressive turn and really will send you up into somewhere else. It got him there, and he knew that way too quickly as soon as he was already loose on the charge. Off to the final 3 laps we go here right now. Timmy Spatz is currently moving the chains on in here. Looking to put the 54 right up against Noah Healy in the 81, but you can see that rear end sliding out just a slight bit. It's having a hard time kind of counter steering off from that turn, and he knows he can't oversell it too much and can't let them get too crazy or too frenetic. Listen to that horsepower and that speed coming off those lines into those turns, man. There is some serious speed these things are carrying, and if you're wondering how serious and how fast, we'll try about 156, 160 miles per hour for a Super Late model. That is ridiculous, but that's kind of the name of the game. Gawker with the lead. Quentin Haley right behind as they went into the white flag. White flag is out. This is your final lap. Quentin looking to dash. This one looking to try to go madhouse, mad dark horse, power under the speed. Can he get the 13 in line for one more charge? Off of turn number 3 and 4, looks for the run, not enough time, not enough speed, no way to go. It's gonna be Jimmy Gawker. A great finale there, would finish up in the back there for third, as Timmy Spatz just barely ekes out a third place finish with the 54 going just ahead of Noah Healy. Matthew Karakoff will go into the top 5. Take a look at Heat 2 results, then pop up for your warm-up session time here in a minute. Let's take a look at our session results, though. Gawker with the win. Haley goes second, third to Spatz, fourth to Healy, fifth goes to Karakoff, and that will round out to top 5 in that one. Now the time has come, and we're going to let these guys go out here and have a little warm-up session to kind of get the tires burned up and a little run down the track. Now, earlier on, what you saw there was the short run and the instincts that comes with racing and a Super Late model on a bigger track like here at Iowa Speedway. Now what you're about to see is pretty much the overall antithesis of chaos and insanity that is securing and saving your tires up for the very, very long haul, especially considering when you're driving upwards of over 160 miles per hour. This will definitely make things very difficult and a little bit tricky around the track. So expect some drivers maybe to struggle early, but as they start to break the track down a bit, you'll see the cars start to really get a little more speed, a little bit more under control. We'll find out who can find that and find the speed to work it around as we return here to Feature Race TV. Ladies and gentlemen, today's race has been brought to you in part by the good friends over at W. If you use the code MRL Racing, you will be given 10% off from W. Be sure to hit them up on their web store though at w.gg. Again, they are on Facebook, so just look them up there if you'd like, if you can't seem to find them on their website. But I'll tell you one thing, best energy drinks around and some real sure kickstart my hard energy with these things. Be sure to check them out at w.gg, and also be sure to type in the code MRL Racing, that is capital MRL Racing, for 10% off your next order. The Keystone Corner comes on by saying, Ryman, we are glad you and your wife are doing well. Congratulations. Yes, indeed. Congratulations again to Ryman Castle. He's not able to join us tonight. Sadly, he is welcoming in a newborn. So congratulations to him. And what a time to be alive. What a crazy world we live in. If you do hear us kind of go in and out for a second right now, we're currently just squaring up and getting the last minute session set up for the race today. So we're kind of letting the guys, well, try to go out there and race our race here, or at least try to get some practice laps in. So we may be a little bit quiet, but really right now the guys are just kind of getting squared up, or they're deciding to deal with the driver's meeting, of course. So here we go, race fans. We are all set in motion. We're ready to go racing. 70 laps to the distance. Here's how we're going to get there. On the pole, Royce Garavano. The 76 is your number 1 seed. Going into the A main is outside. Jimmy Gawker will be in the number 2. In row 2, it's Jordan Riddick and the 15's outside. Quentin Haley in the 13. In row 3, we see Joe Lux. The 04 is outside. Timmy Spatz, the 54 driver. Row number 4, Ethan Harrison, the 77 is outside. Noah Healy, the 81. Row number 10 or 5 is Zach M. Woods, and the 61 is outside. Matthew Kirchhoff in the big 00. And row number 7, it'll be Josh Ingram with the 56 outside. The 51, that is Jesse Singleton. In row number 7, it's going to be Matt Nicholson. The 10's outside Frank Griffith in the 54. In row number 8 is going to be Patrick Jenks in the 78's outside Bryson Collins, the 5. Row 9 is going to be Chandler Hutchins in the 22 is outside Race Bible, the 08. Final stars, row 10, Christian Visconti in the 80, and Ryan Dyer in the 83. Race fans come from all walks of life. Many drivers come to this track, willing to become the best and the brightest of them all. But now these drivers have that stake and have that presence of mind. It's time for your main event at Newton, Iowa Speedway. Here we go. They waited for this moment. They waited quite a while for this time to come. And without further ado, launch the green flag in the air. Three-car dash here, pack here. Bryson Collins, number 5, having a little bit of a fight up here with the 00 of Matthew Kirchhoff with the 61 here. Zach M. Woods hanging him on. Zach Woods right now trying to keep himself in a nice control state with the JX61, trying to make sure that these guys can't get around so easily. Knows he's got a lot on his plate and a lot on his mind, obviously. With this 70-lap ordeal, this is a long formatted race. It tests the best. It takes the toughest of drivers, and it tests those that can find a way around the mess that comes with it. The 77 of Ethan Harrison wrecks right off of turn number 2. Caution flies out. Four laps in, and honestly, we didn't even realize that overlay wasn't even up to show you guys where we was at in position. I guess we just kind of got caught off guard by the racing itself. Here's the P2 Mr. Replay, presented in part today by W. Use the code MRL Racing to get 10% off your next order. This is something you're going to see a lot of, though. There's a lot of guys just getting a little too exorbitant and a little disoriented on trying to find the run quick and trying to find the run a little bit in a worse end than they really should have. In honesty, that was a big mistake, unfortunately. But again, as a driver, you don't think about that when you're going into that turn. You're only thinking, how can I get more speed and how can I get more run? Well, if your car's not loose, you're not getting much speed. Here at Iowa Speedway, you need it a little bit looser, but you need to watch when you take control of that wheel and that throttle pedal, because it can get a little rowdy, as you just seen with this move right here. Field squared back up into position now. We'll get everyone rack stacked and all that. Put them back on the attack here in just a brief fleeting moment here. Wild little start here on Pete's Race TV, but again, it is nearly just the beginning. Double file on the back up here for the restart zone. We are now stepping away for this one. Seems like every race storyline that has been a part of the MRL racing has involved something to do with that 76 of Bryce Gravano, whether it be his wars with Gawker, his battles with Spats and Haley, or even his little runarounds there with Collins and Bible. But nevertheless, he's always had some kind of closure, some kind of part in this picture as the green flag flies back on out. Almost a tag there from Joe Lux in the 04 as Spats backed off. May have tried to avoid contact there, entering in a turn. Oh no, there's contact, alright. Bryson Collins and Ethan Harrison, two drivers yet again. Whoa, hold on a minute there. And I'm not sure if Harrison was trying to go ahead to the distance here and try to get somebody for the price of one for that wreck, but let's take a look at the replay. Well, you see the 10 goes wrecking out, and Harrison kind of got clipped in the wreck there. It looks like Collins already wrecked sooner. I don't know if Harrison, this is what I saw here for a minute. It didn't look intentional there, so it looked like Harrison just did not realize where they were at. A little bit of a missed timing cue here, but Collins and them were already wrecking at that point of impact. We did have our chopper cam, though, on these boys as the wreck happened, so let's take a look at their end here and see what we can see from the chopper cam, shall we? And it looked like Collins kind of drove in and was going down for the turn, ended up clipping Race Bible. Race Bible did not know where he was at. And Collins, again, just really wasn't really sure what was going on there. Look at that 77 down there, kind of clipping one of his boys here. Thankfully for these guys, they do have at least one fast repair up and running, so they're not abusing too much equipment out here. But at the same time, they got to be careful when they do use that instant repair, because the 70-lap race is still a pretty long race for these super late model drivers. field squared up yet again here. Everybody now matching up and marching up the charge here, looking for that green flag to fly back on out as they come off down around off turn number 4 here. That restart zone, green flag back on out. And it looks like our little start's going to involve Zach M. Woods deciding to try to obligate down to Noah Healy's level on the inside, trying to take him for a little bit of a hit and run here. Trying not to hit and run is what I meant to say, as he tries to keep a close end and keep a close distance between him and that 81. Not very social distance like, but then again, we're not in 2020 anymore, so thank goodness there. Timmy Spatz, that number 54 driver right now, coming up there on the 13, Quentin Haley here, the Dark Horse versus the old big red, white, blue Old Town 54 as he continues to mount the speeds and mounts the charge. And look at the huge lead Scribano's got right now on Gawker and Haley. Now, I will say this, if Scribano has that lead early, he could be burning the tires up a little bit and not realizing how far he'll be in later on in a little bit of a hole with those tire sets. He's going to have to watch it down there and not overdrive in these corners. As they got a little bit of a pass on coming by off turn 4, opening made down the bottom. Visconti comes for the charge. 10 spots up so far, and Joshua Ingram right now trying to keep him at bay by running the outside line. You can do that very well here, but again, it is kind of a rough edge, kind of a rough shot to be doing it from that angle, but it does stop the bottom lane from getting that speed and maneuverability in their lane, so that's what kind of helps kind of separate out two sides here. If you run the outside, you lose speed from the bottom you can get from the fastest line, but you also block the bottom run from gaining all that speed going up to the top end, so it really is a double-edged sword, but depending on how you want to play it, you can either make it or break it. 3 wide slowed entry in through turn number 1 right out the gate here. Jordan Riddick and Justin Singleton having a little bit of some fun on the bottom and the middle respectfully with that 56 Joshua Ingram's expense in mind. Ingram smack dab on the wall protection, had to get out of there, got out of the way just in time, but he took a lot of damage in the process. Patrick Jenks, the 78 driver, getting back out on the car, back out into the playing field. Good to see him racing out here at Iowa Speedway. Dealing with currently that 0-8 or race Bible here as they two drivers continue to hammer down the throttle, hammer down the speed. The RBR Race Bible Racing 08 right now, he's had a bit of a tumultuous season. He's had his ups, he's had his downs, but I think it's safe to say he's had a few good highlights to his great season, that's for sure. And I tell you one thing, these super late models, they can get a bit tricky down there. Oh, they can get a lot more tricky there. They can get really tricky on the ends here. And Ethan Harrison, yet again, collides with another driver, and unfortunately, it'll not be the 54 Timmy Spatz this time. And Spatz, unfortunately, you saw him rolling it over down the back straightaway here. I don't know where all that went wrong at, but we'll take a look at the replay. You can see the cars rotated in just fine, but until he got a little too over his head there. Wow, that's 160 miles per hour of speed right there. He carried with over 140 of it smacking into that wall. He is okay. He's saying to his crew that, hey guys, I'm a little shaken up, but I'm all right. I'm fine. I just want to get this car back out of the race. Gives her a look at it. Watch the rear end as it kind of slides out. He knew he was a little bit in trouble exiting off, but he knew he had time to save it. Unfortunately, the car just didn't quite have time to catch itself. Tough break there for Timmy. Well, top 5 right now. Jimmy Gawker, Noah Healy, Zach M. Woods, Joe Lux, Christian Visconti. They are your top 5. How long can they last out for, though? And can they pull off with a W and a big victory? We'll find out when we return. Ladies and gentlemen, today's race here for the race at Iowa Speedway for Misfitz iRacing League is presented in part by our good friends over at W. Again, if you guys want to get some kickstart my heart energy in your system in your day-to-day life, then be sure to check out the energy drink W. And also, while you're over there, if you type in the code capital MRL Racing, that is capital MRL Racing, with the racing not capitalized, then you will get 10% off your next order. Be sure to check them out and find yourself something good to drink, something unique for your flavor and taste buds. W. Again, capital MRL and then capital R Racing for your code for 10% off your next order. And a big thank you again to W for sponsoring and helping these guys out right now here. Ryan Dyer saying go Patrick Jenks, James saying go P1 Performance. Got a bit of a conflicting argument down there on the driver's end, which one they want to see rooted on the most, but that's kind of racing in general for you. One more time around, drivers currently getting situated out here, and they will stay under the yellow flag. They want to make sure everyone is in line and in charge, ready to go racing again. This is kind of a rough little shot around here. Again, you got guys finding speed from the first corners, and then guys kind of finding some speed on the later run. Down off the corner here, down turn number 4 here, ready to fire back up once again. Every driver for themselves, everybody looking for position and trying to find the best place, the best run for them to get on to. Green flag back on out, we're back underway. Little wild opening entering off turn 1 and 2. Gawker takes the race lead here with Scrivano going into pit road, trying to time out his strategy as he's usually one to do. He went into pit road this last couple laps ago, so right now Scrivano is in a little bit of a heated format with being putting pit late on lap number 19. He'll have about 50 laps he'll use for the fuel and have about 50 laps he'll have to work around for the rest of the track, while the rest of the field stayed on out, and they keep going under yellow like this, it might give them an even more opportunity to really hit the homer and hit the run for the line. Not sure where the caution came out from. It looked like it might be on Christian Visconti. Take a look at the replay and see what happened, and it will definitely be on the 80. Well, I said earlier, if you can get the speed just right, you can go to the outside quite well, but it looked like Matthew Karikoff did not quite see Visconti trying to do that. Visconti kind of got clipped in there. Unfortunately, we don't have a very good view of it due to Visconti's internet connection kind of giving him fits out there, but you saw Karikoff get kind of laid off from the bottom, had to go up top a little, and then end up kind of sent up topside. Jaden James saying, go Grandpa Zach. Well, I didn't realize Zach was a grandpa down there. That's pretty crazy. See, usually you consider most of these guys youngsters, but I guess the old timers are still out here kicking some tail and beating some butts into the rack. Oh, James saying it's an inside joke. Okay, my bad. Ryman Castle saying P1 performance dominating race once again. Yeah, that seems to be kind of the obvious. That seems to be kind of the threat around here. It seems like. Well, let's see if they can continue on. We're not quite halfway done with this one yet, so it's still anybody's race as we get on the line back up in position off of turn number 4 this time on by. File him off, Cocker with the run, and everyone else just trying to hunt him down. Green flag back out. Swinging it around, tight first set of corners. Very tight first set of corners, but everyone stays under control here. Up on the outside, Josh Ingram though got a little too wide into the wall. He went. Bryson Collins getting a big little clip around there from it looks like Patrick Jenks to 78. And the 13 of Quinn Haley now looking to muscle the field and muscle the charge. He saw an opening and just like a thief in the night, he decided to steal it without any line and without anybody in his sights. That's some hard racing maneuverability there from him and his crew. Meanwhile, Noah Healy in the 81 right now trying to hold up the field and hold down the flanks to make sure no one takes this one away from him. Some ripping and some roaring, but on this field and on this track, man, it is absolute ho-hum haymaker action here. Down across the end zone here, Jordan Riddick has now taken the race lead away for the first time today as McCaution flies out here with a little bit of problems down there, this time for Matthew Karakoff and the double O. And he jumps into pit road. He has got bad damage on that front end. It looks like around the side skirts here. It looks like he goes for a wild ride here off turn 1. Oh, man. Ouch, ouch, and ouch. Oh, whoa. I did a little, kind of a little side trick there, but that was a huge hit there for Karakoff, and the car is done. If you couldn't already tell, that one took way too hard of a hit. Ingram there just kind of lined it up a little too hard for his own good and kind of shipped around there, and a little bit of a freestyle move there, if you will. Just kind of put up on 2 wheels and sent it on its way. Wow, that was a hard wreck though, man. That's not something you want to see any driver go through or anyone have to hit or endure. No matter what track you're at, no matter who you are, I don't like seeing any of that, and I really hate seeing drivers just get that kind of damaged up, that hit up so hard. Those just do not feel good. Field set in motion, ready to get back on the game. Back to the green flag we go here. We are now halfway done with this race here, so this one's going to be pretty much put to the line, put to the wire here as the field just loops the chains on in. We are heavy loaded and locked and runned off. Every single driver right now trying to get a little bit of a steady position in, trying to hold down on the lines here on the front straightaway. Looking towards a 3-wide salute and enabling zone though. Roy Scarvano! Hold on, Collins! Well, that 5 today is once again kind of getting beaten and abused a little bit out there. Well, let's take a look at the replay and see what happened here. Had to kind of drift off. It was trying, like, I'm not sure if he was trying to play a drifter's paradise or if he was having a little fun playing a burnout paradise out there. All I know is that little side tap from the 51 got him loosened up. He sent it up from the middle to the top and drove her on around. Also, for those wondering at home, I'm not really sure where the blinking is coming from. It should not be all the iRacers here that's getting the blinks and stuff, but as I've kind of noted before, we can never be too sure here. Well, the whole field side's going to pit road here and square up to the positions. Quentin Haley, Jesse Singleton, Timmy Spatz, and Scrivano will stay on out. Who of these drivers will be able to hold on for the long haul and hold on for the rest of this race? You best not miss it. We're going to continue this one on when we return. Tonight's race here in Iowa will be presented in part by our good friends over at W. If you guys need some kickstart energy, some good outwork, some good little drinking stuff, sugar rush into your brain, your mind, your noggins, well, W is the one you can count on. And if you type in the code MRL Racing, you will receive a little discount, a 10% discount to be exact, from the boys at Misfitz iRacing League from W themselves. So a big thank you to W for that. Again, type in the code MRL Racing for 10% off your next code. Thank you again to W for their support. So, back to square one. Sixth caution of the day here, halfway done now in this race. Well, you saw earlier on the strategy that 76 had in mind. He was trying to really progress through the track and through the run with a little bit of a longer mentality, more race run mindset. But because of the way cautions have been kind of throwing guys for a little bit of a loop, now it starts to be a little bit more of a detrimental to that circumstance here. Especially with guys going into pit road, grabbing all 4 tires here, as well as grabbing some major gas needs here. Pit times right now showing about 35 for 24, 22, 24, 40 seconds times on those pit stops. So some drivers taking more fuel than others, some taking more time on the tires. And that's kind of been their strategy here. Off of corner number 4 now. Drivers set back into the motion, set back into the field here, ready to hit down the stripe and hit down the run. We're going back green flag racing. wide salute entering up for turn number 2. Here's the number 10 of Nat Nicholson. Now looks to make a little bit of a fight after his struggles from the heats. Trying to put up a little bit of a battle there between him and Jordan Riddick, Jimmy Cocker, Joe Lux, and all them that went into pit road earlier on. All those drivers I just named off really went in because they needed to find some extra speed, some extra runoff here and avoid that kind of carnage there. Oh my goodness. Back to square one, boys. And Bryson Collins, I think, is turning into Ethan Harrison down there when it comes to getting into the carnage and the wrecks today, unfortunately. And Josh Ingram maybe not too far behind after this one. Saw the rear ends kind of slide out underneath, kind of kick everyone out of shape in the 0-4. And the 5 trying to avoid it. They had to come to a dead stop to not do any more damage themselves. But the 56, unfortunately, of Ingram, I guarantee you, is not too thrilled in that car right now, knowing he's had a rough go here at Iowa Speedway. Yeah, you can see he was trying to hang on there as long as he could, but it just was not going to last out as long as he wanted it. And Royce Gravano now, how about this? It's back where he wanted to be here. I'm just going to go ahead and double check on my end too, make sure this ain't me doing the blinking here. No, it's not me. It's definitely not me out there, it's blinking. I really don't know what's going on with these guys, or why that blinking is coming up to begin with. I know last night we had a lot of trouble with iRacing servers from the dirt side of things, but this isn't dirt, obviously. But it did kind of happen in the heats. It did happen in a heat format, so maybe it might be that. I'm not totally sure here. Pace car will get us all squared up and back in position here. We have 35 laps left to go. There is definitely no holding back now. It's either you start tightening those reins up and start getting a little bit more on the fight and onto the into the fray, or you're going to be left with the frying pan stuck all over your head and kind of knocked out in a few places you shouldn't be here today. I don't know what the heck I was trying to say. I think I was trying to make a little rhyme, but I think Matt Nicholson wasn't really liking it either and goes for a whole tumbleweed spin down off turn 1. And we are back to square one once again. Well, let's take a look at this one, find out what happened here. And looks like the 81, Noah Healy gives a piece there to a 10 here at Nicholson, and I don't think Nicholson was really expecting that, but that's something you just kind of know it's going to happen in the back of your mind eventually. For tracks like this, man, there's just not a lot of ways to pass, and there's not a lot of areas to go off of, so you have to do what you're given. See, it went down a little on Healy, and Healy, I don't think really was trying to take him for the bump and run corner, but Nicholson unfortunately kind of finds himself in that area and gets taken for a wild ride there, as now Healy will kind of come out from the mess a little bit. Stop and go penalty show says sucks to be out of the double O, but we'll have fun watching on here. Love your coverage. Thanks, Stop and Go. Definitely good to have you back on here, brother. Ryman says if this stays green, that Jordan will walk right by. He's talking about Jordan Rick right now in the 15, and judging what he did earlier in the heat, I don't think I disagree, but at the same time, I'm having a hard time seeing that happen right now because I think even Scrivano knows a lot of these guys are having a very difficult time passing, as much as Scrivano had kind of blocked Riddick from his run earlier in the heat. So guys are having to resort to using bumpers and fenders now to make those passes, make those lines. It's different to it's kind of hard to get around there. And the stop and go penalty show making a great point as well. Lots of different braking points per driver. Indeed, sir, that is very much the case. And you saw even the 81 of Noah Healy wasn't necessarily, like I say, he was trying to get around into there, that bumper, him and give him the bump and run. I think he just kind of had a bit of a bad spot. You saw that too. Gawker, he went right down low and stuck right by the 10 of Nicholson. It's not a lot of areas you can get away from there, and that's one of them, unfortunately. So Field will pace him on around one more time by. We'll have 20 laps to go on this restart. Although the wall hit did hurt, but I already had took my fast repair. Yeah, I was about to say there, stop and go, which is it's the double O for those that are wondering. He got into the wall unfortunately earlier on, got tagged there going in. I believe it was turn 1 into turn 2, and that's when he got smashed in the wall. Went for a wild ride there, sir. But he went for a ride or two, let's just say that. That thing, when it went on the wall, I mean, I don't care what anyone says, in iRacing and even in sim racing in general, with these force feedback wheels, I've had a lot more respect for just how quick they have a tendency to rip out of your hands or rip out of your arms and wrists if you're not careful. So for those that like doing the 100% force feedback challenge and they decide to wreck out or anything like that, my thoughts and prayers with you, my friends. Insert green flag, restart zone, back on board. W restart area has now brings our drivers to life yet again. Whoa, that's not good down there. More trouble, and Josh Ingram yet again involved in another wreck here. And honestly, right now, the way this is going, this is really being gift wrapped to Scrivano's. Let's just have to take a look at the replay here, and I don't even know where to begin with this one or where everything started from. We're just going to have to kind of look at it from the replay point of view. Well, it looked like nobody even came off the line there. It looked like everyone just kind of didn't even go, and it looked like the 54 there, that was Frank Griffith. He's the one that collided in there with Nicholson, and I'm not really sure what the heck happened there on that one. Let's take a look at the replay. Well, I'm going to say this right now. Griffith was really far back, fair to where he should have been, in my opinion. And, you know, call it racing karma or justice, whatever you want, but unfortunately that doesn't mean anything for the other guys. The other guys out there got a lot of the short end of that staff. If you're single filed up, you're supposed to, in racing terms and in layman's terms for those that don't know, you're supposed to get closer together and kind of set in motion for the start. That way, something like that doesn't end up happening. Same thing happens on the double file starts. You want to stay as close as possible, keep everyone in line and in play. The race leader has the go, so you have to try to catch him on that. And Stop and Go saying, yes sir, when I got hit, the steering wheel ripped right, not fun. No, I would probably guess not. By the way, race fans, if you have never been here on Pete's Race TV before, well, be sure to like and subscribe here on our show, and also check out all our latest racing days and times on the show. We always try to bring you the best and the best quality we can get here. Alright, can we get this one fielded in? Can we keep the run going? We're about to find out. Right now, those guys that try to plan out really long strategies are now even starting to question that one, and they're going to have to start pushing some short runs here. On the run. Yep, even Patrick Jenks, we're in your comment section there, sir. He is currently in the 14th slot, not doing too bad after all the practice he put up here. He's trying to hang with these top dogs, these big dogs here, but right now at the moment, it is at 15 of Jordan Riddick going head to head with the 51 of Singleton side by side, entering off turn number 2 here. It's a battle between the Rowdy Energy and the P1 Performance Crew. Oh, dips it down low. Here we go. Looks like we're going to go for a crossover here off of turn 4 to the front straight where they line it up. Singleton tried to outrace the Riddick camp, but Jordan managing to hang on and really push this thing right up ahead of him here. Smart move by him there. Joe Lux having some company there. Brayson Collins here and the 81 and Noah Healy is now both guys having a little fun down there. About 13 laps left to go. Now timing starts to become an even more crucial factor in this. Hard racing up to the front and hard racing in the back of the packs. Oh, and Brayson Collins. Oh, Brayson Collins gets a piece there. The 81. He tried to save it. Noah Healy can't save it though. It's going on sideways. It went sideways, but it hanged on, but that car is badly damaged. The rear end's kicked out. It's done for. He has broke the suspension on the right side. Right rear diffuser and the axle has completely shattered into 2, and it is broke. That is why you see it literally looking like a broken rear steer on a monster truck right now. Suspension just got crock-eyed and broken down pretty bad. He went for a little bit of a wild ride up there. We'll take a look at the replay. You see hard racing entering into that turn, but then Collins almost kind of Kyle Busch him at what he did to Dale Jr. in Richmond here. I don't remember anything really that big happen here at Iowa Speedway, but boy howdy, that was a bit of a wild little get around there. And Noah Healy, I guarantee you, is not a happy camper in that 81. He was doing so well for the youngster, but now he has even more problems to have to figure out and challenge up with. What a tough break there for him. Saying, will he stay out and pay back? I would not guess yet. Healy's going to get the car back out, though. Collins ain't careful, though. He might end up being on the other side of the stick here. We've seen it happen here plenty of times before. And again, guys, we're not really sure what's going on with some of these guys. Visconti is another one that's blinking pretty bad. But we believe it to be something to do with iRacing. I don't know if it's fully the internet on our ends here. I think it has something to do with iRacing because again these heats in the main event last time we were here did have some server issues. Coming back around the track here. Laps winding down. Time running out. These drivers have got so much left to work with. 8 laps to go. Oh, trouble down there yet again. Visconti and looks like Nicholson both wrecked out. Nicholson's trying to refire, and the pace car is already coming out. Doesn't matter what he does now. Oh, wait, no. Pace truck's not coming out. It's just put in pit road. They put him in pit road. That's all they did with him. Nicholson's trying to hurry out of there. He's going to get out of the way, but these guys in the back and the front, they're not holding back anytime soon. Scrivano knows if he sees one more caution, he's going to have trouble because here comes Jordan Riddick. And that 15, the B1 Performance crew is now on a full-on charge send-off to the cliff with Gawker on his outside. Zach and Woods, though, not giving up yet here with either him or Quentin Haley. A little bump and zag there, little fenders put together with the 13. Haley, I don't know how on earth he hanged on to that one, but he did a great job with it. Down to the final 5 laps to go. High 5 in the air. Drivers now need to start making some moves and making some runs here. Woods is literally just an inch away from taking Haley's entire bumper with him. I don't know how he hasn't done that yet, but it's hanging in there. Royce Scrivano here knows he's got a good lead, but for how much longer? Taking a look at our lap time zone with only 4 to go. And Riddick did not get any grip on Scrivano that time. That may be what Scrivano wanted to see and what he needs to know in order to try to take this one away. You can definitely say he had the smartest strategy of the bunch here when it came to that caution popping out. Maybe not so much if it was going to stay green. Josh Wingram staying down low, he's trying to stay out of the way. Doesn't want to ruin the race. Wants the boys to finish this one out, especially with only 3 remain. Timmy Spassler with 54 here looking on at that battle between Zach Woods and Quentin Haley. Both guys in a hot debate, hot scoop here, running off down from turn number 4. 2 flag, 3 flag high in the air. We got 1 to go. Or 2 to go, excuse me. 1 to go next time by. Oh, both fenders put together finally, and now the bump and run by Zach Woods. Well, he didn't exactly let Haley give him a chance to breathe, much less a chance to think, but Haley's going to cross him over. Oh, ho, ho. Puts a bumper straight to that 61, and they hang on. Quentin Haley, though, lost all his speed. He tried to dive it in and give him one more rip for their good measure. And Breeson Collins and Singleton, they'll wreck him out. They wreck hard on turn number 2. It doesn't matter, though. To the finish, it's going to be Royce Scrivano, the 76, winning at Iowa Speedway. Riddick goes second, third to Gawker. Wow. Woo-hoo. Oh, my Lord in heaven, this was a wild, wild finish. Made even more elite with the fireworks going off here at Iowa Speedway. Your race winner comes around down onto the front straightaway with a little chip on his shoulder. There he is, the Z-Swift 76, Royce Scrivano wins this one all. Wild, wild moments indeed, and what a wild race this one was, to say the least. Well, here we go, race fans. Royce Scrivano wins this one out. Ryman Castle, though, let him know, I'll see you next week, buddy. Well, and I think 76 might need a new motor by the time he gets to next week. But Jordan Rigg goes second, third to Jimmy Gawker, fourth to Timmy Spatz, fifth to Zach Woods, sixth to Quinn Haley, seventh to Chandler Hutchins, eighth to Frank Grivet. Ninth will be Jesse Singleton, and then Race Bible goes 10th to round out the field. Wow, what a race, what a day here on PT Racing TV here from all ends of the spectrum here. And just to see this battle really commence and really charge up as hard as it did and as quickly as it did, that just goes to show you how tricky things can be when you're put in the right place at the right time. And now we bring in the top 3 drivers in the spot tonight. Jimmy Gawker will putt the 2 into 3rd place here, and congratulations on that podium here, Gawker. But I'll tell you one thing, my friend, you had a lot of work down there to deal with, didn't you? Hold on a minute, he may not hear us. Gawker, can you hear us now? Gawker?
Oh,
Yeah, you got us.
there we go.
Yeah, you can hear us. All right. You gotta love it when we got the issues with the old Discord here.
No worries.
Yeah, all right. So we'll repeat ourselves because I'm pretty sure you didn't hear us. But nevertheless, you come away here with a solid performance and a little hard racing action coming to the line to the end here. It looked like you and Riddick were pretty much just kind of set in motion for a big battle at the end. And if you had a chance to get one more caution, and I would presume you and him would probably have something for Scrivano there at the very, very end.
Oh yeah, just me and Jordan came down at the same time, took tires, and we were just coming to the field. There were some little slow cars I deal with there, trying to get through the traffic, and especially the yellows there. They're in the middle stage of the race. There didn't help us trying to get to the field quick enough, but just needed one more yellow there at the end for me and my teammate Jordan Riddick to have a shot there at Royce there.
One more shot indeed. Didn't quite get it in this case. But, I mean, I'll tell you one thing, man. You certainly did still put up a heck of a run and a bit of a heck of a shot here from multiple ends of the spectrum. So, with the way things played out and the way you were really kind of looking forward to the long haul, I mean, I would presume that this track definitely did a number on the tires as much as it did trying to hold on for the wrong end of this one, didn't it?
Oh yeah, tires are really important there. I noticed in the heat race that tires fell off. You fell off 4/10 on a lap times I noticed from both heat races. So just imagine just saving your right front tire and just trying not to get loose, trying to burn off your tires there as well.
For sure there. And at the end of the day, you are coming away here 3rd place. So, out of the entire bunch now of this field, let me ask you this, sir. Who do you want to thank here?
Everyone from P1 Performance and Jimmy Gack Racing. Sucks that Ryan McCastle, our team owner, couldn't make it tonight. His wife had a baby yesterday, but congrats to him. R&B Car Company, Preferred Warranties, Community Wide Federal Credit Union, Frickers Meyer, DAC Enterprise, and my beautiful girlfriend, Michaela.
I think you made her proud and probably won't be having to sleep on the couch with this podium finish today. So congratulations, Gawker. Great to hear from you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for broadcasting as well.
Absolutely. 3rd place finish here for Gawker here. Is this girl? If your girl, Gawker, if your girlfriend's listening, I did not mean that in a mean way. It's all jokes, guys. Anyway, 2nd place here goes to Jordan Riddick here in the 15. Riddick, congratulations on that, sir. And really, we're kind of looking at the overall picture. You had the most run, you had the most speed here coming to the late half of this race, but unfortunately, those cautions kind of ruined the entire whole shot and the whole end for you in the 15.
Yes, it did. I mean, we were going with a different strategy than Royce did, and I feel like that's what we do every race, every time I race with them. So, I mean, yeah, the cautions killed it because I kind of thought he'd wear out his tires a little bit more, but he didn't. We had cautions, and I mean, that's just what happens.
That's what happens sometimes, and that's what kind of brings it to the end, brings it to the big full momentum position and performance. But nevertheless, though, you still had a lot going down, a lot really to make up for here when you had to get through the traffic, you had to get through the series. I mean, that alone in itself, I would say, is pretty darn impressive considering what you had to go through.
Yeah, the tires did help with that. I mean, I had a lot more maneuverability than the other guys out there on the racetrack. They were kind of one lane in it, if that's what I'd say. But it helped us get back up to 2nd. I'm surprised we actually got back up to 2nd. I thought Jimmy would hold me off a little bit more there and try to keep 2nd, but he didn't, and he let me go, and we salvaged 2nd place.
Solid 2nd place, solid performance to end it out. So let me ask you this, my friend. Who do you want to thank here?
A&A Express, Lux Realty Group, Jack's Wax, Ernest Performance, P1 Performance, and Simpson.
Absolutely indeed. Well, nevertheless, though, as you come away with 2nd, we do appreciate you coming on board. Congratulations once again on all of this.
Yep, thank you.
Jordan Rick, ladies and gentlemen, comes away second place today. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring in the race winner of it all. He is the man of the hour, the man with the power. Royce Gravano comes away with the W. And Royce, what a wild, wild day this was. It looked like the pit strategy was going to be put to an absolute test and be put to its fullest potential, but nevertheless you hanged on and the cautions kind of helped you out a little bit. But boy, did you put up a fight and really make sure everybody knew you were not giving out to anyone this one.
Yeah, it was a risky move coming down pit road early. I figured I would take tires in case it went green to the end, and knew we needed to come down to fill up. But the 13 car, Quentin, he was making fun of me. He was like, "I just followed Royce down pit road for that big brain move," and it actually wound up working out. So it was fun coming up through the field, and we were able to hold off some of the big guns.
So hold off some of the big guns, some of the top guns, and really, in my opinion, probably, if anything, maybe a murder's row of lineup drivers that can take this win away as quick as you got it from them. But, I mean, at the end of the day, man, that's big. It's one thing to kind of come out on top knowing strategy work, but when you go into next week here, what's going to be the big sticking point for you to kind of make really a good charge up for the race win there?
Yeah, I think I'm points racing. I think we're doing well in the points overall. So I'm going to try to make the most out of every race. But if I can be in position to win it, I'll go for it.
Absolutely, that's the name of the game. That's the way you play it, and that's the way you race it. Well, nevertheless, as you win here at Iowa, who do you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Dubby and Patrick and Ryan up in the booth and or in the race control. I want to thank you, Christian, for calling the race. This is gonna be a fun one to watch and see how the race went on. And I want to thank my wife for letting me race on Wednesday nights, and for the family watching at home.
Absolutely, it's gonna be fun to see and kind of watch back. I bet, for you in the 76. So congratulations on that, and we'll catch you next time out, sir.
Cool. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. The 76, Royce Gravano, your race winner today here. And what a day it was, presented in part by our good friends over at Dubby. So a big thank you to them, and use the code MRL Racing to get 10% off your next order. Thank you again to Dubby for your support. To you fans out there, thank you so much once again. Tomorrow night, action from iRock Challenge Series comes back on the show. Stay tuned for us as we continue with our series, our weekly broadcasting episodes. Thank you so much, though, for the support. A year and a half in with this stuff, and it never gets old to see the fans and everyone tune in and enjoy the show. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time.